What was your favourite book when you were a child?
My favourite book was Dear Zoo.
Why did you like it so much?
I liked the fact that the boy got lots of different animals through the post and that actually all he wanted was a dog for a pet, and that growing up my parents wouldn't let me have a pet, so it was quite a nice idea of lots of animals coming to stay and then having to go backwards and forwards.
Was there a character in a children's book that you identified with?
Yes, George in Enid Blyton's The Famous Five was a girl, and she was like a tomboy, so I quite liked the idea of being quite adventurous and doing things that boys tended to do when I was growing up.
What was your favourite book when you were a child?
Probably The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
Why did you like it so much?
I remember we had a teacher at school who read it aloud to us when I was probably 6 or 7, when I was too young to read it myself. And I remember getting the book and then sitting down by myself and reading it. And I think it was the first time I realised how much you could get out of a book, I think.
Was there a character in a children's book that you identified with?
I can't think of any specific characters. I think I was quite a scruffy child. I always had dirty knees and torn clothes and things like that. So whenever there was a boy who got into lots of trouble, I usually thought that's a little bit like me. But I can't think of one particular one.
What was your favourite book when you were a child?
I really loved anything by Michael Morpurgo, all the Roald Dahl books, and the Northern Lights series by Philip Pullman.
Why did you like them?
I really enjoyed the Roald Dahl books because of the great illustrations that Quentin Blake did. I just found them really inventive and vivid, and they really kind of contributed to my understanding of those stories. And the Northern Lights I loved because it just offered a really detailed other world to just dive into, and this kind of idea of alternative universes and weird futures that could possibly happen.
Was there a character in a children's book that you identified with?
Not really sure. I used to love reading school stories, like books about boarding schools off in the Swiss Alps or anything like that. And while I didn't necessarily identify with a specific character, I liked the kind of general idea of it, I suppose, and the kind of jolly japes that they would get up to. So I kind of identified with them in a more general way as a schoolgirl, I suppose.